All right, guys, the MCU's newest show, Secret Invasion, debuted today. This is my episode one non-spoiler review. So right off the bat, non-spoiler, I think this episode is worth watching. I think a lot of the fan base is kind of hesitant to jump into shows. Not the larger fans like myself, but a lot of kind of the casual fans have kind of watched some of these shows. They've been kind of about it. So if you're one of those people and you think, should I watch episode one? I think it's definitely worth watching. We're finally grounded again. It wasn't the best MCU thing I've ever seen. It wasn't perfect, but it was entertaining. It was interesting. It had intrigue. So I definitely think it's worth watching if that's what you're wondering. I was kind of impressed with the how the show looked, the scope of the show, how it set up episode one. It was a little bit more intense than I expected it to be. It was a little bit more mature than I expected it to be. I don't want to say scary at much, a little scary and a little creepy at times. So all those things surprised me in a good way. I also was happy to see kind of a diverse cast. It was not just Samuel Jackson or Maria Hill. We also have Don Cheadle as War Machine a little bit. We get Everett Ross a little bit from the Black Panther franchise. And obviously Ben Mendelsohn is back as Talos. So we get kind of a good mix of characters from the MCU. I think this is a very important show for the MCU. They kind of scaled it back. There's only two shows this year. There's this show and then there's Loki season two. But it's been a while since we've had a grounded show, movie, anything really, I think, since Falcon Winter Soldier. So I think it's important that they land this show, and it was a good start. The show is based on a more recent 2008 Marvel comic, if you were interested in reading it, obviously called Secret Invasion. Similar to the show, we kind of don't know who are Skrulls and who are not. The major difference between this show and the comic book is obviously we're not going to get Captain America, we're not going to get Iron Man, we're not going to get Thor. The scope isn't going to be as big. So maybe in the future, the Skrulls will take over some larger heroes, but in this show, I'm not really expecting it. I don't really have any hot takes after episode one. My hope is just that the show is just steady throughout the show. I hope it doesn't have any bumps along the way. The MCU really, 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 really needs a rock solid show to kind of stabilize, the TV side going forward. So, like I said, this is a good episode one. I think it's worth watching. Give it a go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks, and I'll see you on.